we've come too far to abandon the change we fought for these past few years.
I'm sure will be tons of speeches that say exactly what I want to hear.
If people ask you, what's this campaign about?
I'm not interested in what he says anymore. I'm interested in what he's done.
You tell them it's still about hope.
I don't know if we can recover from this.
You tell them it's still about change. Hope. Change. Hope. Change.
As he would say it, we're ready for a change.
And I don't feel he deserves a second chance.
He promised change.
Promise, promise, promise.
Obama let me down.
It's sad. It makes me angry. That really makes me very, very angry.
It just hasn't worked.
4 more years of Barack Obama would just be 4 more years of gridlock.
We tried change, and this is what change got us.
It'll be a travesty if that happens.
I could not vote for another 4 years of Obama.
I voted for the wrong guy.
Let's get the nation back in order.
I am not voting for President Obama. That much I do know.
He's done a lousy job.
He didn't make good on any of his promises. Smoke and mirrors.
Farther and farther into debt.
Deficit is going up.
Businesses closing.
Government handouts.
I'm so disappointed.
I expected a lot more.
We're divided.
We're spending way too much.
I have no optimism.
I fear for my children.
People are angry.
It's more discussed at this point.
I'm exhausted and I'm tired.
The healthcare costs are going up.
False hope. To me, it looks very dismal.
It's not hopeful.
That's just heartbreaking.
I've always been a Democrat.
I am a Democrat.
I live in Florida.
Registered Democrat.
I'm an independent. I was raised Democrat.
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 On the east side of Des Moines, Iowa.
I voted for President Obama. I voted for Obama. Of course I voted for him.
Northeast Ohio.
Democrat. Virginia.
My background's more of an independent.
Typically, I vote more Democrat, but not this election.
I cannot vote for President Obama again.
For this total socialized medicine.
There were better fixes available than what we just did.
Thank you, everybody.
Right after I graduated college, I took a job in the billing office of a local hospital system. And I could see firsthand what the effects of Obamacare are going to be and that it's not going to be a positive change.
As an immigrant, I really never thought that this day would come to where you would be forced to have, health insurance.
The more I understood, the more concerned I became, because when I see people being forced to pay for their insurance.
How can the federal government control what health care that we have?
I've dealt with basically government-controlled medicines and so on and so forth up in Canada.
Thank you.
It's primitive. It was just you aren't going to get the same care out of Obamacare as what we are getting today.
Thank you, everybody.
If they can pass health care and mandate that we carry it and penalize us if we don't, I don't know where it's going to end.
Thank you.
Your health care that's becoming more and more what communist countries had, which was just having to wait in lines in order to be seen by a doctor.
I really never thought it would come to the day where I was forced to buy health insurance.
This is exactly what my father was trying to get away from back in communist Eastern Europe is some of the same things that are happening right now in the government.
And welcome back to the Special Hannity. And joining me now are some of the Democrat and independent voters featured in the movie The Hope and the Change. Now, they voted for Barack Obama in 2008, but he cannot count on their vote come November. They're here to explain why. Welcome, all of you. Thanks. You're all big movie stars now. Thanks for being with us. Let's talk about where you were then, where you are now. What happened? Because the movie just shows all this excitement and everyone caught up in the moment. What happened?
Well, in the beginning, in 2008 at least, I was caught up in the moment too. I had that hope, that dream that, wow, look at this guy, this is going to make things better. This guy's going to make changes that we all need. We're going to see our GDP go up. We're going to see jobs. We're going to see things made in America. It was a lot of bliss, at least it seemed it would be.
And you're a small business owner?
I am.
Okay, and how was your business from 4 years ago?
It certainly hasn't gotten a whole lot better. There are moments when I think things are going great, but right now it's in a slump.
Yeah. Gerald, you really, I listened to your comments, watched your comments a lot during the film, expressing a lot of disappointment.
Yes.
Tell me how you were then versus how you are today.
Well, back then, I think there was a lot of excitement based on a lot of things that were going on. I mean, he was a very charismatic individual that we were excited about. And as someone who's always voted straight party line voting, I've never had to really deal with certain issues, if you will, as a part of my decision for who I choose to vote for. But over the past 4 years, I'm a ordained minister.
Yes, sir.
And because of that, the past 4 years have been kind of a trying one for me, because I've been asked basically to try to accept some things that I fundamentally cannot accept. So
would one of them be the contraceptive mandate in the Obamacare bill? Just curious, based on the fact that you're a minister.
Well, that's part of it, but it's really the same-sex marriage issue.
You know what stood out at me, Amy? Let me ask you this. You know, he's going to unite the country. Everybody's excited. And I look at how he's running this campaign. Are you following this campaign closely?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
of course, absolutely. It's important.
Well, I think it's important. But do you see the change in tone? In other words, it's so divisive. He can't run on his record. He's not, you know, he's not the unknown quantity he was reading from a teleprompter. Is that very discernible for you?
It's very clear, absolutely. Gosh, it's so transparent, the non-transparency that there's been. It's so clear now that he's not capable or able to do the things that he said he was going to do now. You can see it in the ads that he runs for his campaign. There's no basis. There's no looking at the issues. It's attacking personally.
Yeah, well, Romney, apparently, we didn't know it caused a woman to get cancer, and he's a felon, and he's a tax cheat. And by the way, he wants dirty air and water for our children. I mean, that's what it's now been reduced to.
Right.
Chad, you are a construction worker.
Yes.
I don't know to the extent you know my background, but that was my background for many, many years. I worked every area of construction. I have many friends in the construction business. Most of them are hurting. Most of them are struggling to keep, you know, afloat right now. You experiencing the same thing?
Still experiencing the same thing, even after the 4 years, doing very well in the business, having the housing market crash, having to get out of the building part of construction that I was in, start over from the bottom in an AV installation industry, which is a small business, has also floundered over the last 4 years, barely managed to stay afloat, and have not seen anything turn back around as to we're going to build more houses, we'll put the country
What
back
happened to
on
all
the
that stimulus
track.
money? When you hear that stimulus money went to, let's see, Brazil and a car company in Finland and Canada and Mexico and Solyndra and SunPower, and that these were guys, big bundlers for Obama, they got all this money. Did you get bailed out? Does that anger you?
No, I hope the car company in Finland's doing better, though, because the rest of us over here aren't. So
With American tax dollars, you want them to do well?
Tax dollars? No, I don't want them to do well. I want him to stimulate this country with the money. I want him to keep it here, make us what we were.
How many of you think, just as a show of hands, if I may, and we're going to get you guys in the back row, I promise. How many of you think that the president really believed redistribution was the answer, and that he tried it, gave us $5 trillion in debt? And how many of you think that economic philosophy is a failure?
I do.
You do. You believe it would still work, ma'am?
No, it's not that I didn't raise my hand because I think it still works. I don't think he knows where to go right now. I think that he, got everybody excited. Everybody was hopeful. And now we're starting to realize that it's not. The change that he promised didn't come. What else does he have to promise? I think he's now trying to get excited in other ways. Like he's going out with the celebrities, he's becoming a man's man, he's trying to be laid back. That's not where we're at.
That's a really good point, and we're going to pick up on that when we come back. And thank you all for being here. But you're all movie stars. And, we can, George Clooney, watch out, but the movie was very profound, had a very big impact on me. So thank you all for being here. And coming up, we're going to have more with our focus group of voters featured in the brand new movie. And they're going to explain what they think is happening to all of their hard-earned money as the special edition of Hannity continues. Thanks for being with us.
Do we pay rent or do we eat?
You want to have water to cook with tonight or a roof over your head?
I'm working 2 jobs.
I think a lot of us are working very hard for our families and for our communities, and I'm wondering if Obama is working as hard